Hey there, quirky folks! I am your host, Anna, and today we're going to talk about the Thunderbolts. Marvel officially announced this project at SDCC earlier this year, and they revealed the lineup at the D23 Expo, which included Bucky and Yelena as the leaders of the team. Along with them are two Captain America replacement super soldiers, the US Agent, and Red Guardian. And then there are two assassins from Russia and S.H.I.E.L.D., the Taskmaster and Ghost respectively. Handling this team would be Val, who is MCU's very own Amanda Waller counterpart. Basically, Black Widow and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier come together to give us this lineup. But looking at the numbers, quite a few people were disappointed as there's a lot of redundancy. Everyone was expecting the Abomination, Zemo, and even the Red Hulk as well. But they didn't come in. And since the leader has been named as the villain of Captain America 4, we're all left wondering who would go against the Thunderbolts. Before we look at them, you guys could help our channel by hitting the like and the subscribe buttons. Okay now, the first candidate for the Thunderbolts villain is Baron Zemo in the Dark Avengers. Zemo is a master tactician. He made the Avengers Empire crumble and implode from within. And because of that, Infinity War and Endgame happened. So, a guy who basically caused 3 world-altering MCU events has to be very dangerous. But the Falcon and the Winter Soldier sort of turned him to the good side. We actually began to root for him. Move it, Zemo! Oh yeah! This was arguably the best scene in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Anyway, we presumed that he was going to join the Thunderbolt squad since he was placed at the raft. With his background as a former colonel of the Sokovian Armed Forces and a commander of Echo Scorpion, he would have fit perfectly in this spy roster of the Thunderbolts.
Zemo ran Echo Scorpion, a Sokovian covert kill squad.
He and Bucky had resolved their beef. And with him being a rich baron and having a lot of resources, he could have been the Bruce Wayne of this Suicide Squad. But that doesn't seem to be the case, or else Marvel would have revealed it. Although, there is evidence that he would appear in the film. And this clue comes through Marvel themselves. On the official Marvel page, the URL of the article about the Thunderbolts cast initially had Zemo in it. So, Marvel may not have revealed him because he is going to be a villain in the movie. He may have resolved his issues with Bucky, but he still hates super people. That's why he had his butler kill those leftover flag smashers. And now, he could actually bring a squad of bad guys to go up against Val's team. The reason I say this is because in the comics, he took on the identity of Citizen V and brought in a bunch of other supers to outshine the Avengers.
You did everything required to outshine the Avengers. I can't wait to see the look on Captain America's face when he realizes he shook hands with Baron Zemo.
But Zemo was actually using this team for his evil intentions. So something like this could happen in the MCU. But if you think that Zemo being the villain would be repetitive, then we can look at the next candidates, Hulk and Scar. She-Hulk is definitely setting up a World War Hulk storyline. Hulk's arm has been fixed, and he is off to Sakaar to bring back his son Scar.
Yeah, probably not for a minute. I got some things I gotta take care of.
I feel that we're very close to getting an angry Hulk back. But we're not sure whether Marvel has gained back the rights to make a solo Hulk movie. So instead of making a World War Hulk movie where Hulk and Scar go berserk, what if they become the villains of the Thunderbolts? All the former villains slash anti-heroes of the squad will get a great redemption arc if they get to stop a couple of out-of-control Hulks. Now you may be wondering, how exactly would a team of spies and super soldiers stop 2 Hulks? Well, that's where the Abomination comes in. I feel that he wasn't announced as a part of this team because Marvel didn't want to spoil She-Hulk. But towards the end of the show, Val or some others might come in to recruit him. And then the tables would turn as the Abomination would become a hero against a maddening Hulk and his child. But if you don't like this idea, then I propose Milena Vostokov.
I'm sorry.
Back when Black Widow was yet to come out, many people presumed that Nat's fake mother, Milena, could actually be the Taskmaster. Or maybe she could be the Iron Maiden, just like the comics. The general belief was that she'd be a villain, but then the main bad guy turned out to be General Dreykov. Well, maybe those initial theories were right. Milena could be the villain, only she wasn't supposed to be one in Black Widow. Instead, we had the build up for her to become one in the future, and that could be happening in the Thunderbolts. Now hear me out. A whole world of Black Widows was opened up as Dreykov had placed thousands of Red Room agents all across the globe, and they were all under his control. So it was upon Yelena to free them. Between the events of Black Widow and the present-day MCU, Yelena could have freed a few of them using the red dust that Milena might have reproduced. But still, there were thousands of those widows. Many of them could still be roaming around as sleeping agents. And while trying to flee them, Yelena turned to dust and came back 5 years later. In that time, Milena could have gained control of the Red Room program. You see, she had been working for Dreykov for all those years. She seemed very cold-hearted because of the way she treated those pigs as literal guinea pigs. I mean, Alexei the pig was almost choked to death. And it didn't even seem as if she felt any remorse for subjecting young girls to chemical subjugation. So I believe that she manipulated Natasha to do her bidding. She could have told Natasha about her real mother to gain her trust.
I was taken?
I believe a bargain was struck. Your family paid off. But your mother, she never stopped looking for you. She was like you in that way. She was relentless.
But her endgame could have been to end the reign of General Dreykov and take over herself. So, the Thunderbolts movie could actually be a Black Widow sequel in disguise. And this spy team could be going after an army of Black Widows from across the world. But if you don't like this idea, then the next candidate is White Vision. Towards the end of WandaVision, White Vision flew off to God knows where. And with his restored knowledge of the world, we don't know what he'd be up to next. People have presumed that he might return in Armor Wars. But could he be the villain of the Thunderbolts instead? What if Ultron is back through him? After all, he was reassembled out of the old Vision's body, which had a bit of Ultron in it. So, White Vision could act as Ultron 2.0, and the Thunderbolts could have been assembled to stop his threat, which hasn't been detected yet. Another crazy idea I've got involves Robot Zola.
But I am.
Before Captain America 3 was turned into Civil War, the Russos had a different plan for the film. It was going to be an espionage-based narrative similar to the vibes of Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And guess what? They planned to bring Dr. Zola's algorithm back after he exploded.
Out of time.
This time, he was going to have his comic-accurate robot body. So, this Robot Zola could be alive now, and he could be the big bad against the Thunderbolts. Zola and Bucky go way back. So it would be nice to have him back if Bucky is to be the lead. I would have loved it if the leader was the villain of the Thunderbolts and Zola was of Captain America 4. But anyway, this switch would be cool too. And to add on to this Zola idea, I'll bring in my final point, which features the Intelligentsia. This was a group of very intelligent villains coming together to form a cabal. In the comics, this group included several villains like the leader, Egghead, MODOK, and even Dr. Doom. With Dr. Doom being introduced in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, MODOK appearing in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and the leader being the villain of Captain America: New World Order. There's a chance that all of them could be a part of MCU's version of the Intelligentsia. And their fourth member could be Robot Zola. There are a lot of mysteries in the MCU that this villainous team could solve. One of them could have hired Crossbones to steal that bioweapon. Another one could have hired Sonny Burch to get his hands on Pym's lab. The third one may have been in contact with the power broker for the super soldier serum and other weapons.
Start lining up our buyers. Super soldiers might be off the menu, but we're about to have full access to government secrets, prototype weapons, you name it. Should be something for everyone.
And one could have been behind their wrecking crew to get their hands on She-Hulk's blood.
Thunderball, did you get it?
No. Once you turned into She-Hulk, I couldn't pierce that nasty green skin.
Now, I'm not saying that Dr. Doom would be teaming up with Zola and the Thunderbolts, but I believe that one by one, Ant-Man 3, Captain America 4, and the Thunderbolts could bring Doom out of the shadows. Captain America 4 literally comes out before the Thunderbolts. So by the end, the leader could be revealed as a part of the Intelligentsia, leading us into Robot Zola. Then towards the end of the Thunderbolts, Zola could lead us to the true leader of the Intelligentsia, that is Dr. Doom. And finally, Doom would then appear in Fantastic Four, which is the next movie after the Thunderbolts. So, who do you think could be the villain or villains of the Thunderbolts? Let us know in the comments. Hit the like and subscribe buttons if you liked our ideas. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one.